And finally, with all the turmoil and cultural divide these days, wouldn't it be great if we could all get along like these two young elephants at the San Diego Zoo? The 3-month-old male calf, Zuli, is having the time of his life with 2-month-old female, Kai. The calves are almost the same size, so they naturally flock together. They engage in some friendly sparring, pushing, climbing, and headbutting. The moms keep an eye on them, and if the two get a little too rough with each other, an adult female elephant will step in to make sure they're okay. The calves have plenty of aunties who help the moms out by group parenting. See, we can all get along.
With intern Louie, that's this week's edition of Lola's Lowdown.
For now, have a great weekend, everybody. News 3 at 5 starts right now.
Right now at 5, what a new report is saying about Madison drivers in the wintertime.
The 9-day gun deer hunt begins tomorrow. What you need to know before heading to the woods.
And how area volunteers are helping those in need during the Thanksgiving holiday season.
This is News 3 at 5.
And thanks for staying with News 3. Winter weather is on its way.
Let's get a first check on the forecast now. Dave Caulfield is in the Weather Center. Dave?
Well, Susan, we're starting to notice that snow move into northeastern Iowa as we speak. Alberta Clipper moving through tonight into early tomorrow morning for southern Wisconsin. Could give us a few inches of snow. Winter weather bulletins, these go until 9 a.m. tomorrow. Winter weather advisory for much of the area for the next 12 to 18 hours or so. This is in Platteville looking west, so no snow falling as of yet, but we may be just a few hours away from seeing those flakes fly on the Queen Bee Radio Skycam. Temperatures are in the mid-30s, so cold enough to get that snow developing, maybe a little bit colder across portions of northeastern Iowa. Wind speeds not too bad, but a little bit breezy at times. Out of the west at about 8 to 15 miles per hour, so it does feel like the upper 20s. So the forecast for this evening, temperatures continuing to fall through the 30s into the upper 20s. Cloudy and chilly with snow developing late, and overnight tonight that snow will be falling. Doesn't look to stick around that long, but we will talk more specifically about timing, totals, and threats in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Dave, thank you. And with snow and ice on the way, safe driving practices are a must.
According to one report, Madisonians are some of the safest winter drivers around. Our Kelly Arthur joins us. Do locals agree with that? We certainly have, enough experience with it.
Yeah, and you think with experience would come some skill, but a lot of people do not agree with this ranking at all. Allstate ranked Madisonians as the 5th safest drivers overall in the country and 5th least likely to get in a collision during sloppy winter weather. The report ranked 200 cities nationwide on categories like the average years between claims for drivers and the relative likelihood for a driver to file a claim. The report came out yesterday. Now, Madison ranked 3rd overall in 2017. Locals say those high rankings lead to the kind of overconfidence that seems to get some of us in trouble.
One time I saw a guy with a big black truck going down East Wash very fast, and when I got further down there, he was over in the ditch.
State troopers say there is always room for improvement. When the snow starts to fall tonight, distance yourself from drivers, always wear a seatbelt, avoid texting. And if you do end up in a ditch in your car, stay in your car and call for help. And while there's always room for improvement, we can pat ourselves on the back just a little bit. We ranked far higher than our sisters to the east in Milwaukee. They were at 67.
Wow. Should mean lower insurance premiums, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we should see that in the mail.
Thanks, Kelly.
A local middle school teacher accused of yelling the N-word at a student has now resigned. The Madison Metropolitan School District confirms the teacher will no longer work at any of the schools in the district. The teacher was accused of yelling the N-word at a 12-year-old. This was during a social studies class at Hamilton Middle School last month. The student's mother tells News 3 she is pleased that the district stuck to its mission and, quote, showed racism will not be tolerated. The district superintendent wrote in a letter to staff that 2 other incidents involving inappropriate racial language have been reported since that incident at Hamilton. Madison Teachers Inc., the teachers union, will hold a special meeting this weekend to discuss the situation.
One of the Madison men who robbed a Culver's last year where a man died has been sentenced to prison. 25-year-old Xavier Fleming of Madison and 32-year-old Nicholas Ivy of Middleton pleaded guilty in August to causing the death of contractor Chris Knuble during an armed robbery at a Culver's on Todd Drive in June of 2017. Today, Ivy was sentenced to 25 years in prison and 10 years extended supervision. The other charges Ivy was facing, 2 counts of false imprisonment and 4 counts of armed robbery, were all dismissed but read in. Fleming is scheduled to be sentenced December 17th. Republican Attorney General Brad Schimmel will announce on Monday whether he plans to seek a recount in his race against Democratic challenger Josh Kaul. The Wisconsin Elections Commission announced today that based on canvassed vote totals, Kaul got 17,000 more votes than Schimmel. That is within the 1% point margin that would allow for a recount, but Schimmel would have to pay for it. The Associated Press did not call the race last week because it was too close. Schimmel also did not concede, saying that he wanted to wait for the canvass to be complete. His campaign spokesman said Schimmel plans to review the results over the weekend and announce his intentions on Monday. The deadline for deciding, by the way, is Wednesday.
The Baraboo School District has planned a 3-part program starting next week to promote healing after the fallout from a photo on social media of students appearing to be giving a Nazi salute. The program to address healing and learning for the Baraboo community begins Monday. It'll be at Baraboo High School from 6 to 7 p.m. Rabbi Lori Zimmerman, Mayor Mike Palm, and school district leader Dr. Lori Miller will speak at that event. A second meeting will be Thursday at 6 p.m. at City Hall. That'll be dedicated to community reflection and listening. The third part, which is called Baraboo Acts, will be scheduled at a later date.
Tomorrow is a day thousands of people in Wisconsin wait all year for, the start of the 9-day gun deer hunt.
A new report shows the number of deer hunting licenses sold in Wisconsin has dropped significantly over the past 2 decades, but it's a tradition that thousands still very much look forward to. Rose Schmidt tells us what you need to know before you go. Rose?
Well, we don't yet know how many hunters will be registered for this season, but the licenses dropped by 50,000 between 1999 and last year. The Department of Natural Resources says that's likely due to the aging baby boomers. And conservation groups are trying to recruit more people because this is a time so many people in Wisconsin take pride in. In a sea of this specific shade,
it's what we call Orange Friday,
you'll find a hunter's paradise.
We opened at 6 a.m. We had about 200 customers in line.
Hundreds turn into thousands, filled with anticipation.
I grew up, hunting with my dad and other family members, so it's always a fun time of the year.
Passed down from generations in Nick Portson's family, starting from a young age.
Since I was 12, so I grew up in Portage, and we had a bunch of land in our backyards.
He took off work.
A lot of stuff to get ready.
Preparing to head up north.
Right now, the weather's turning a little cold, so we're going to be selling a lot of warm weather gear.
But a little snow won't deter them from their craft.
Oh, never. No, come on, this is Wisconsin.
In fact, it may even improve the experience.
There's going to be some fresh snow will make seeing deer a little bit easier this year.
But Brad Burden's main message is one of safety.
If you're going up in any tree stands, make sure that you do have your tree harness. It can save lives. We've had several incidents where people fall out of the trees and they don't have their safety harness on it.
Brad and other conservation wardens will be out and about.
Making sure that while you're out in the field, you have your 50% above the waist, have your orange or your fluorescent pink.
And with your bright colors and patience in tow.
Yeah, definitely get up early, drive up tomorrow morning, and probably spend the whole day Saturday and Sunday.
You can have a fun,
hoping to get a big buck.
Safe weekend. And new for this year, if you plan on hunting this week, you don't have to carry a paper copy of your license. If you're hunting in parts of Dane and Columbia counties, the Department of Natural Resources is requiring you to submit part of the deer for bovine tuberculosis testing. And the 9-day season ends on November 25th.
Everybody be safe out there this weekend and beyond. Rose Schmidt reporting in our news center. Rose, thank you.
Thank you, Rose. And speaking of Thanksgiving traditions, hundreds of volunteers are coming together to pack bags to feed families for Thanksgiving.
The Goodman Community Center will give out Thanksgiving baskets to more than 3,500 families in need in the Madison area. Amanda Quintana live at the Goodman Center where they are preparing for tomorrow's giveaway. Amanda?
Yes, there are a lot of moving parts here, and I am with Sam McDaniel, who is in the holiday spirit right here. He is with the food pantry, one of the coordinators. So tell me a little bit. You said 800 volunteers put this all together. How does that happen?
It's a lot of people who want to help their community. We start in the beginning of October with the registration. We'll go all the way through next week with the cleanup. And 800 people come and work their shifts here with smiles on their faces. And it's a really amazing thing for us to be involved in and for all those people to take their time, especially during the holiday season, to do it.
So what is still needed? If you haven't volunteered, you're seeing this story now, what can you do to help?
As far as food, we still have a lot to collect. The big things that we need are frozen turkeys, cranberry sauce, canned fruit, and chicken broth. Those are the big ones that we're light on right now. Financial gifts are always a huge help. We're able to partner with other organizations in town and get about $3 for every $1 donated worth of food. So that's a great way. You can do that via our website. It's really simple.
And so it's 3,500 families or more that will get these bags. What's in these bags? What do they get?
They get all the ingredients for 4 to 6 people to have a nice Thanksgiving dinner. So you get the turkey, you get all the vegetables. So we're surrounded by 30,000 pounds of onions, potatoes, and carrots right now. They get a dozen rolls. They get a pumpkin pie. We get fruit, vegetables, roaster pan, mac and cheese, stuffing, chicken broth, gravy. I'm probably forgetting one, but there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, 2 full bags and a turkey.
And that really allows them to have the whole Thanksgiving family experience, the whole meal, everything.
Yeah, exactly. And they also get to see all these people coming together to help, which is really the best part of the whole thing, is the whole community working together to make it a better time for everybody.
All right. Thank you so much, Sam. And you can pick up those bags tomorrow. That goes through Monday. We'll send it back to you.
Sam looks great.
Yeah, he just kept his Halloween costume on, right, for the giveaway. We'll have more on that tonight at 6. Amanda Quintana.
He does look great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amanda. The 9-week project to replace 2 bridges in western Dane County damaged by flooding in August has now been completed. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation says Highway 14 in the village of Black Earth is now open to through traffic. Governor Walker approved a $2.8 million emergency contract in mid-September to reconstruct the 2 bridges on Highway 14 that were damaged by all that flooding in August. The bridges are the main access points into Black Earth. Work to replace the bridges over Black Earth Creek on the east and west side of the community started September 14th, and it was completed today.
More than 8 months and $21 million later, Monroe Street is still under construction, but they're making progress. The project was supposed to be finished today, but instead will have to wait until next week. Some of the visual changes to Monroe Street include new pavement and better pedestrian crossings, but most of the changes are underground and include 7 miles of pipe work, including new water and sewer mains and a new storm sewer. It will fully reopen to two-way traffic this coming Wednesday, just in time for Thanksgiving travel and the Black Friday shopping rush.
As we were getting weird weather throughout the summer and things, people were getting kind of nervous that it wasn't going to get finished in time. So right now it's just a lot of excitement and people preparing for two-way traffic, parking to restoring, and get back to a little bit of normalcy out here.
Major construction projects scheduled for next year in Madison include East Johnson Street from 1st Street through Baldwin Street and the start of a project where John Nolan and Willie Street meet at Blair Street. That project will take 2 years to complete.
The organization Dane Buy Local is encouraging shoppers to look at buying more gifts at area shops this holiday season. Dane County Executive Joe Parisi joined business owners to highlight some of the 600 Dane Buy Local businesses. Jen Rudis of Generate Wellness in Wanakee says working with other business owners will help small businesses thrive.
Reaching out to other business owners and really finding out how you can help each other and, work together and synergize. Maybe you're promoting something for the candle company down the street, or maybe you're working with a hair salon or a bank, someone where you can really bring in other businesses together.
Americans will spend nearly $721 billion this year. That's $4 billion more than a year ago. More to come on News 3 at 5. Up next, how President Trump is participating in the Mueller investigation on Russian interference in the 2016 election.
And a CNN reporter whose White House press credentials were revoked is back in the White House.
And mixed numbers on Wall Street to close the week. The Dow adding 124 points. The Nasdaq lost 11. The S&P 500 added a half dozen. We'll be right back. President Donald Trump says he has answered written questions from special counsel Robert Mueller, but hasn't yet submitted them.
The president told reporters in the Oval Office today that he answered the questions very easily this week, but added that, quote, "you have to always be careful." The president did not say when he would turn over the answers to Mueller as part of the ongoing investigation into possible ties between Russia and the Trump campaign. Mueller signaled a willingness to accept written answers on matters of collusion. The White House has said it would not answer Mueller's questions on possible obstruction of justice.
And CNN has won its initial battle with the White House over the decision to pull reporter Jim Acosta's White House press pass. A federal judge has ordered that Acosta's pass must be reinstated at least temporarily while the court considers the case. CNN's lawsuit alleges Acosta's First and Fifth Amendment rights were violated when the White House took his credentials away. Judge Timothy Kelly did not rule on the underlying case, but said CNN was likely to prevail on its Fifth Amendment claim because Acosta did not receive an explanation as to why his credentials were revoked, nor was he given the opportunity to rebut the White House's decision. The White House claims it made the decision after Acosta refused to surrender a microphone during a press conference last week.
We want total freedom of the press. It's very important to me. It's more important to me than anybody would believe. But you have to act with respect. You're in the White House.
Many news organizations, including CBS News, filed friend of the court briefs in support of CNN's lawsuit to defend its constitutional rights.
President Trump awarded 7 Americans the Presidential Medal of Freedom at the White House. The list includes the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, Babe Ruth, retiring Utah Senator Orrin Hatch, and the late Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. Doctor and philanthropist Miriam Adelson, wife to billionaire Republican donor Sheldon Adelson, was honored, as were football legend Roger Staubach and Alan Page, a Minnesota Viking Pro Football Hall of Famer who became a justice on Minnesota's Supreme Court.
All right, off the top of the show, you heard us talk about the winter weather moving in. Let's go to meteorologist Dave Caulfield on the backyard patio with the very latest, Dave.
Well, Eric and Susan, it kind of feels like it's about to snow outside. It is cold enough, and also it just feels like it's in the air. Not here quite yet, though, is that snow still affecting portions of northeastern Iowa, but we do have a winter weather advisory in effect from tonight into early tomorrow morning, and an alert day also in effect. We could actually see a little bit of freezing drizzle mix in with that snow at times early on, but really we are focusing much of our attention on the multiple inches of snow possible by Saturday morning. So here is Doppler track. You can see that snow just to the outside of southwestern Wisconsin, moving closer and closer to Grant County as we speak. As we zoom out, you can see the full extent of this Alberta Clipper as it continues to generally move to the south and east. Temperatures right now in the mid-30s in Madison, in the 30s in northeastern Iowa, but check out Des Moines. We're at 45. So that temperature gradient could actually create a little bit of stronger snow. Chris Reese was talking about this during the last hour. When we get that temperature gradient like that over a short distance, that can also contribute to a little bit heavier snow in spots. I think that stays well to the south and west of Madison. However, we'll watch to see where that potential front goes over the next couple of hours. Downtown Madison on the Edgewater Skycam, not looking too bad right now, but the snow is on the way. Today's high of 38 degrees, about 5 degrees below normal for this time of year. So I mentioned we're mainly looking at that snow. That threat goes into early tomorrow morning, but at least at the onset for some of us, we could be looking at a tiny bit of freezing drizzle mixing in at times. So we'll be on the lookout for that. Snow chances really maximize late tonight into early tomorrow. That's when that snow likely part of that graphic is in effect. And then you could see that snow really the snow chances, I should say, start to go down even into later portions of Saturday morning, and then a few flakes at most is really what we're expecting past Saturday morning. Tonight, light snow developing. 27 degrees for the overnight low. Tomorrow, that snow wraps up early, breezy with even some clearing possible during the afternoon hours. Highs will be right around that freezing mark. So we'll take an in-depth look at future track. We have the first snowflakes moving in over the next couple of hours to portions of southwestern Wisconsin. Then that system continues to move to the south and east, expand a little bit to the north, and bring snow into the Madison area later tonight. I would say right around 10 or 10:30. Some snowflakes will be flying closer to Madison, and then by the time we get to about 9 a.m., I really think a lot of that snow has left us already, and later on Saturday, clearing is possible, so some sunshine may be able to be seen, and temperatures will be chilly as we head into tomorrow night with those clear skies. So here's our moneymaker graphic, our snow totals graphic by 9 a.m. Saturday. Most of us picking up about 1 inch to 3 inches of snow. That's generally what we expect when we deal with Alberta clippers. But as you head a little bit farther to the south and west, 2 to 4 inches, possibly even locally heavier amounts are possible depending on where those heaviest bands set up. And I know folks are definitely paying attention to this weekend's weather because it is the start of gun deer hunting season in southern Wisconsin. So Saturday and Sunday, we're looking at cold temperatures, but pretty nice hunting weather. In fact, as that snow wraps up pretty early on Saturday. So let's take a quick look at your 7-day forecast. Temperatures staying pretty chilly to start the holiday week, but we are quiet with no rain or snow expected. And Thanksgiving is looking dry at the present time with temperatures in the 40s. Some rain showers may visit us just in time for Black Friday. Small Business Saturday looking dry, and some rain and snow showers possible by next Sunday. So here's your first alert traffic update. Rimrock Road and the Beltline looking pretty slow right now in both directions. We still do have that accident closer to south and west of Stoughton on Highway 14 eastbound. That right lane blocked right by County Highway A, and also a lot of slowdowns and brake lights showing up on the Beltline at this time. You can see a lot of red is showing up, so expect a pretty slow journey, up to 31 minutes right now eastbound Verona Road to John Nolan Drive. Average speed of only about 10 miles per hour, and that's before the snow comes. The snow arriving over the next couple of hours for southwestern Wisconsin, and later tonight for spots like Madison.
Keep an eye on it. Thank you, Dave.
Still ahead at 5, milk allergy is the most common allergy in children. How experts say you can identify your child's risk. That story after a short break. Welcome back. Milk allergy is the most common allergy in children.
Now, new research takes a look at just how prevalent it is. Kenneth Craig reports from New York.
Here, take another one.
For 6-year-old Maureen Kumar, mealtime can be a challenge. As an infant, his mother says he was diagnosed with a long list of food allergies, including milk.
Was that a lot for you to take on?
It required an adjustment to the lifestyle. We stopped buying milk for anybody at home, and of course, no going out to restaurants.
New research being presented at the American College of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology's meeting finds milk allergy affects about 2% of kids under the age of 5. And more than half of infants under age 1 who have a food allergy are allergic to milk. Allergist Dr. Purvi Parikh says parents need to be on the lookout from the beginning.
Look for rashes, diarrhea, abdominal pain. All of those could be signs of a milk allergy.
In severe cases, the allergy can be life-threatening and lead to anaphylaxis. But the research shows only 26% of milk-allergic children carry an EpiPen, the lowest rate among the top 9 food allergens.
The good news is that is one of the allergies that is able to be outgrown. Most children actually outgrow their milk allergies.
Maureen hasn't outgrown his milk allergy, but his doctors are hopeful one day he may.
It's possible that it will take him a very long time to grow out of it.
He's also allergic to peanuts, tree nuts, and eggs, so this family stays vigilant everywhere they go. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
And allergists say a child with milk allergy should be educated on how to avoid milk, but also to make sure they're getting the necessary nutrients.
We'll have another check of your forecast in just a moment. Stay with us.
Waiting for the snow tonight.
Yeah, just a few hours away for some of us. On Doppler track, we could see that snow starting to make its way into northeastern Iowa, so Platteville over the next couple of hours we'll see those flakes. This evening, snow developing across southern Wisconsin, cloudy and chilly, and for tomorrow, early in the morning, those flakes still with us, then cloudy and chilly, maybe a little bit of clearing tomorrow with temperatures in the 30s.
All right, we'll have more updates on News 3 at 6. The CBS Evening News is next.